Hey, folks, good morning and welcome to another episode of Steelers Morning Rush. I'm Alan Saunders. It is Wednesday, January 1st. A happy new year to everyone out there in Steelers country and all your families. Appreciate you all watching us throughout all of 2024 and excited for another year of good stuff here on the Steelers Now YouTube channel and at SteelersNow.com. Got a big day today with the Pittsburgh Steelers having their second practice of Week 18 at UPM Rooney Sports Complex on the South Side. Myself and Aaron Becker talking to coordinators today. We'll have some sights and sounds from practice, and then me and Smitty back here on your YouTube channel in your audio feed talking Steelers afternoon drive. Probably a little earlier today than usual. Smitty's off today because it's a holiday. I hope you all are enjoying your holiday. Today, I'm going to start the new year off with one of my favorite things, which is when I get an extremely nerdy question from you, the audience, about something that's going on about the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I get to talk for 30 minutes about one really niche topic. So here's Benjamin 44. Ben is a longtime member of the Steelers Now YouTube audience here. And he says, hey, Alan, the Cole Holcomb thing brought up a question for me. Do players like Cole get the whole season's salary? I think his was around $6 million for a season in which they don't see the field. And if so, does that player's salary count against the current season's cap hit? Also, I know Peyton Wilson's coming along, but I'd like to see Holcomb play out the last year's contract. Don't know if they're willing to pay Roberts, Holcomb, and Queen, though. Thanks and Happy New Year, Zachary and Alan. Well, forget Zachary, because I answered this afternoon drive question on the Morning Rush. I hope Ben is a listener to both. I believe he is. So, yes, players that are on the injured reserve list or on the PUP list do get paid, but they don't always get paid their normal salary. Some contracts have what's called a split in their contract, which means that they will earn one amount if they're on the 53-man roster and another amount if they're still being paid, but they're not. So they're on the PUP list, they're on the injured reserve, they're on the non-football injury list. Sometimes these details aren't very well reported. People just don't really care. But for example, David Perales, outside linebacker who was injured in training camp. I believe he injured his MCL. He spent most of the year on injured reserve before the Steelers actually just released him a couple weeks ago. He was probably not earning the league minimum because he signed as an undrafted free agent, and those contracts almost always have that split in them. So I don't have the league number in front of me, but you can assume that David Perales wasn't earning his full league minimum salary while he was on injured reserve. A guy like Roman Wilson, who was a third-round pick, actually probably more than likely he has been earning his full salary. I would say guys like Ryan Watson, Logan Lee, probably not. Again, I don't have details. I haven't talked to these players' agents. But in general, like first and second round picks, third round pick probably do not have a split in their contract. A guy as a sixth or seventh or undrafted free agent almost certainly does. Cole Holcomb did not have a split in his contract when he signed it with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but after his injury this offseason, the Steelers could have released him. And if they released him and he could not get another contract with another team this year, which obviously, since he's just now practicing, he would not have, then he would have had to file for something called injury protection benefit from the National Football League. Keanu Neal actually just fairly recently did this. So he was with the Steelers last year, got hurt, could not return. He had a contract with the Steelers for 2024. The Steelers cut him, and then he did not get another job in the NFL in 2025. So he can file a claim through the NFLPA, and the Steelers had to pay Keanu Neal a pretty good portion of his salary. It was over $1 million, and I don't think he was making that much to begin with. So the Steelers could have done that. They could have cut Cole Holcomb while he was hurt, waited to see that he couldn't get another job, and then he would have had to file, and then they would have had to pay him. But what the Steelers and Cole Holcomb and his agent did this offseason was they restructured his contract to leave his base salary of $6 million, but they added a split, and they guaranteed the lower half of that split. So at any point after the Steelers released Cole Holcomb or renegotiated Cole Holcomb's contract, if they cut him, they would have still owed him $3.1 million for this season. And if he spent the entire season on the PUP list, which assuming he doesn't get activated before the Cincinnati game, he will have spent the whole regular season on the PUP list. He will earn $3.1 million instead of his $6 million. And none of that counts. The salary cap only counts what you pay. So the Steelers have been paying Cole Holcomb $3.1 million divided by 18 weeks every week since the start of the season. And that's going to continue for one more week. Now, he still has a contract for next year. He has one more year on the deal. It's worth $4 million. $2 million is a roster bonus that is due in March. So the Steelers will have to decide in March whether they want to keep Cole Holcomb for 2025 or if they want to trade him or if they want to release him. And then, he'll have it's for 1 year, $6 million. So it's 1 year, $6 million for next year, $4 million salary, $2 million in roster bonus. So they'll have to decide if they want Cole Holcomb for 1 year, $6 million, or they could renegotiate his contract again and do something different, add years to it, whatever. He's only 29, so it's not like that would be a problem. Or they could just let him go if they decide they, really happy with Peyton Wilson. I'm going to circle back to the linebacker part of this question because I want to answer one more nerdy thing that you didn't ask about teams. Because as I said, like, Cole Holcomb is going to get paid one more week. Logan Lee, Roman Wilson going to get paid one more game check here as the Steelers play the Bengals. What happens in the playoffs? So I don't think a lot of people are maybe aware of this, that players do not get paid from the team in the playoffs. And playoff salaries do not count against the salary cap. So the league pays the players for participating in playoff games. It doesn't matter if you win or you lose. In the wild card round, you get $41,500, and this is last year's numbers. I'm assuming they're the same. They may have actually bumped up a bit, but okay, bear with me on that. $41,500 for being a wild card team and $46,500 for being a division winner, just for participating in the wild card game. So the Steelers, if they find a way to win the division against the Bengals, they'll all get an extra $5,000 this week. Decent little bonus. Either way, they're getting at least $41,500 for playing in the wild card round. And then that goes up as you go forward. $46,500 for the divisional round, $69,000 for the conference championship. And the only game where you get paid more if you win it or you lose is a Super Bowl. Super Bowl winners last year got $157,000 and the losers got $82,000. Obviously, that's not very much money. I mean, when you think about it, even Cole Holcomb's split contract, which is $3.1 million a season, that's still $172,000 a week. You're basically getting paid about the league minimum salary there for playing in the postseason. 41.5 works out to $747,000. So I mean, you're not too many people are playing for less than that. So almost every guy on the team is getting a huge pay cut when they go into the postseason. But obviously, you try to win because you want to win and you're on a team and that kind of thing. But I'm not sure how much people are aware of how players get played in the postseason and how little players get paid in the postseason. Also, all those guys that are on the 53-man roster and on the PUP and the NFI and the IR, all those guys will get that, not just the ones that actually participate in the games. So back to linebacker for 2025. Man, that's an interesting question because obviously you've got Patrick Queen and Peyton Wilson in place. Those guys aren't going anywhere. Patrick Queen's played very well second half of the season. And Peyton Wilson, I think, has had a really promising rookie year. You have Elandon Roberts, who's a free agent, and you have Cole Holcomb, who is under contract, but obviously, questionable. I think the Steelers would do really well to find a way to keep all four of those guys. And I know they have Mark Robinson and Tyler Matakevich, and I believe Mark Robinson is still under contract for one more year. So Mark Rob there as well. And I know they love Tyler Matakevich's special teams ability, but I think those other guys can play special teams just fine. And I really think that the mix of Roberts, Queen, Holcomb, Wilson would be one of the best linebacker rooms the Steelers have ever had, let alone in the NFL right now. The question is, how much do you really want to spend on that position? It is generally not perceived around the league to be a premium position. Free agents don't make that much money at the position. What are you going to have to pay E-Rob to get him back? And does that jive with what they're already paying Queen and a $6 million salary on Cole Holcomb? Or can they get Holcomb for cheaper? Can they extend him a year or two, add a year or two to that contract, knock down that cap hit for this year, and keep him around? I think the depth is really important there. If Patrick Queen got hurt right now, I think they would struggle. And that's not to say I don't believe in Peyton Wilson in the future. I just think that it's a now team. It's now, they're trying to win right now. And I don't know. I think Cole Holcomb as a number 4 linebacker is a pretty awesome place if you can get there. And so we'll see what they're able to do with the cap and the depth there. But I think he's a guy they would like to bring back. And I think it would make sense for them to do so. All right, that's all I got for today. Lots of nerdy info here to start your 2025 on the first day. That is how we roll here on the Steelers Morning Rush. Don't forget, like, subscribe, hit that bell for notifications on the YouTube channel. We are pushing to get to 15,000, and we are we're closing in. We need about another 250 of y'all to join up here in the early portions of 2025, or the late portions of this season, I guess is probably a better way to say it, as we roll into the playoffs. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Until next time, enjoy.